Shalom and welcome to Hebrew with Mayim. This video will be going over the Torah portion, Vayakhel, he assembled, which is found in Exodus chapter 35, verse 1 to 38, verse 20. And this is a picture of, or it's a model, actually not a real picture, but it's a model of the Mishkan, the tabernacle that was built. And I'll just read the English first. For the first verse, it says, Exodus chapter 35, verse 1, Moshe called the whole community of the children of Israel to assemble, and he said to them, "These are the things that the Lord commanded to make." So the first letter of the first word is a vav, and this is a patak, so this says va, and this is a yud with a patak, so this says ya, so this is vaya, and this is a kuf, and the shiva is actually silent. It often is in the middle of the word, so it's part of this syllable right here, so this is yak, vayak, and this is a hey with its sere, which says he, and with the lamed it says hel, vayakhel. And this word means, and he assembled. And this is a mem with a cholem, and the cholem says o, so this is mo, and this is a shin. This cholem also indicates that that the shin is a shin instead of a sin, so this dot is doing double duty. And so this is a shin, and this is a segol, which says e, and this hey is silent, so this will be just she. So mo she. And okay, this is Moses. In English, in Hebrew, it's Moshe. And this is an aleph with a segol, which says e, and this is a tav, so together it says et. This is a direct object pointer. There's usually no translation for this into the English. This is a kaf, and this kamatz, usually in modern Hebrew, says a, but in ancient Hebrew, it said o, and with this word, that a, like as in AW, a, that a sound is preserved. So we're going to say ko, and this is a lamed, which makes an L sound. So we'll say kol, et kol, and this means entire or all or whole. Sometimes it means each or every. So here we can translate it as the entire or entire. Let me see what the English. Oh, in this version, which is from Chabad, it says whole. So the whole or the entire. Okay, and this ayin with the chatef patach says a, so it says a, and there's a dalid with a patach and the tavet n, which says dat, adat. Adat is congregation, okay, or assembly. Okay, so Moshe assembled the entire, the whole congregation. Okay, Vayakhel Moshe et kol adat. And this is a bet with a shiva, which says be, and this is a nun with said, and the yud together say ne, b'nei. This is sons of or children of, kol adat b'nei. And then this is a yud with a chirik, so this says yi, and then this is a sin. This shiva is silent, so it'll be part of this syllable, so it's yis. This is a resh with a kamatz, ra, and this is a aleph with a sigil, which says e. And this lamed is part of this syllable, so it's el. Yisrael. Yisrael. And of course, that's Israel in English. So, Vayakhel Moshe et kol adat b'nei Yisrael. And Moshe assembled the whole congregation of the sons of Israel. And then we have another va sound here. Va. And this is a yud with a cholem, which is o. So this is yo, va, yo. The aleph is silent, so it's part of the o sound, so vayo. There's a mem with a sigil and a resh which says mer, vayomer. Vayomer means, and he said, okay, and he said. And this is an aleph with a chatapatak which says a, and this is a lamed with a tzedek which says le, ale. And this is a hey with a sigil and the mem together we'll say hem. The Sigol says eh. So alehem. Vayomer alehem. And he said to them. Alehem is to. The aleph lamed is to. And then the hey with the mem, sofit, means them. To them. And he said to them. And then we have an aleph with a tzedek which says eh. And a lamed with a sigol. And the hey together says le. Ele. Which means these. Okay, these. There's an implied R, the word R here. And then this is a hey with a patak, which says ha, which means the. This prefix means the. And this is a dalid with a shava, which says de, ha de. And this is a vet with a kamatz, which says va. And this is a resh with a chirik, and the yud and the mem together say rim. Hadevarim. Hadevarim means the words or the things or the matters. So word or words is really not the best translation for devarim, but it often makes sense to translate it that way. But it doesn't mean like one word. Like devar is not one word. It means an idea that is represented. It's more like an idea that's represented by a word rather than a single word. Words in Hebrew is milim. So this is hadevarim, the words or the things. Okay, so these are the things. Let me see how the English translates it again. These are the things. Okay, yes, it's translated devarim as these are the things, the things. Okay, hadevarim. And we have an aleph with a patak which says ah, and we have a shin with a segol and the resh together which says sher, asher, and this means that which or who, and let me see how the English they translate it as that. Okay, it can mean that which or who, and then we have a sari with a chirik which says si. And this vav with a dot through it, the shuruk is usually an u sound, but because it has a vowel also here, we're gonna pronounce it like a vav with a v sound. With this kamatz, which says ah, and the hey together, we'll say va. So tziva, that commanded, tziva, asher tziva, and this is yod he vav he, the sacred name. And we just say Adonai, so that Adonai commanded, okay? And then we have a lamed with a patak which says la, and we have an ayin with a patak which says ah, and then we have a sin, and then this dot is going to do double duty again. It'll be cholem also, so it'll be so, la so, and then the tav closes the syllable out, sot, la asot, which means to do or to make. Let me see how it's translated here. They translate it as to make. Okay, and then we have an aleph with a cholem which says o, and then a tav with a kamatz, and the mem sofit says tam, o tam. This means them. Okay, so it's not actually translated here, probably because it's not really needed in the English, but it's literally there in the Hebrew. Lasoto tam, to make them. Okay. Next verse. 6 days work may be done, but on the 7th day you shall have sanctity, a day of complete rest to the Lord. Whoever performs work thereon on this day shall be put to death. Okay. So Rashi, commenting on this verse, says he, meaning Moshe, preface the discussion of the details of the work of the Mishkan with the warning to keep the Sabbath, denoting that the work of the Mishkan, does not supersede the Sabbath. So we have here the idea that Hashem is trying to convey that his Shabbat is more holy than even the Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple, which is a very interesting thing. The Holy Temple is destroyed, but Shabbat still remains with us, which is a beautiful thing. Shabbat, the sanctuary of time, the cathedral of time, is something that no man can destroy, no man can take away. We have this holiness wherever, this holy Shabbat, this holy sanctuary in time, no matter where we go, no matter who we are, all we have to do is cease from our labors. Okay. So here is the Hebrew. For this verse, this is a shin with a tzeres. This is she, and this is a shin with a sigol, and it's almost the same sound, a little bit shorter. Sh. This is she, and this is a tav, which is which closes the syllable out. Shet, sheshet, sheshet, sheshet means six. Shesh is actually six. Sheshet is kind of like six of, or something like that. So we have the yud here with a kamatz, which says ya, and then the mem with a chirik, which says mi, and the mem sofit closes that syllable out to say mim, yamim. Yom is day, yamim is days, so 6 days. And then we have a tav with its tzedek, which says te, and this ayin with the kamat says a, te, a, and this is a sin with the segol, and the he at the end says se, te, a, se, which means you shall do. So 6 days you shall do. Then we have a mem with a shava, which says me, and a lamed with a kamat, which says la, me la, and then we have a chaf with a kamatz in the he at the end, which says cha, melacha. So 6 days you shall do work. That's what melacha means. And this is a vav with a dot through it, which says u. This is a shuruk and says u. And this is a vet with a patak, which says va, so u va. And this is a yud, and this vav with a dot on top is a cholam, so it says o, so this is yo, and the mem sofit closes it out, so it's yom, u va yom. And on the day, that's what it means. U means and, va means on the, and then yom is day, and on the day. And this is a hey with a patak, which says ha, and this is a shin with a shava, which says she, ha she. And this is a vet with a chirik, which is v, together with that yud, it will say v, hashe v, and this ayin with a chirik will also say e again, e, ve, hashe ve, and this means, the ha means the, and shevi is 7th, okay? And on the day, the 7th, or on the 7th day is how we would translate it in English. So on the 7th day, and this is this looks like the sacred name, but it's not. It's a little bit different. Instead of a vav, there's a yud right here, but this is certainly related to the sacred name. Okay, the first 2 letters are the same 2 letters because the sacred name is made up of words, which talk about the eternal nature of Hashem. And so this is a yud with a chirik, which is yi. And this shava is going to be silent, so it's yi. And this is a yud with a sigol, which is ye. And this is also silent, yi ye. Yi ye should be translated as here as there shall be, or it shall be. On the 7th day, it shall be. It can also be translated, depending on context, as he shall be. Okay, but we'll translate it as there shall be. Okay, there shall be. And then we have a lamed with a kamatz, which says la, and then a chaf with a segol, which says che, and then a mem sofit says chem, lachem. This means 2, la is 2, chem is them. So on the 7th day there shall be to them, yeh lachem, and this is a kuf with a cholam, which is ko, and a daled with a segol, which is de, and the shin closes it out, so it's desh. Kodesh, Kodesh, which means holy. So we would translate this as a holy, because I know that this is an adjective for this noun right here, a holy. And this is a shin with the patach, which says sha, and a bet with the patach, and the tav at the end, which says bat, Shabbat, which is, of course, Sabbath, a holy Sabbath. There shall be to them a holy Sabbath, and on the seventh day there shall be to them a holy Sabbath. And this is a shin with the patach, which says sha, and a bet with the kamatz, which says ba, and the tav with the cholem says to, and this is a nun sofit, so it says ton, Shabbaton. Shabbaton. So it's almost a repetition of Shabbat, Shabbaton. So Shabbat, Shabbaton, this repetition, it means a Shabbat of Shabbats. And there's only 2 days that the Torah calls a Shabbat, Shabbaton like this. One is the 7th day of the week, the 7th day Shabbat, and the other holy day that's also called a Shabbat, Shabbaton is Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. So on both of these days, what is very similar is that no work shall be done, and no fire shall be lit, and no cooking shall be done. So on the other holy days, such as they're not actually called Shabbats in the Torah, although later in Jewish literature it is called a Shabbat. But in the Torah, the other holy days are actually not called a Shabbat, because even though there is a cessation of regular work, ordinary work, there are still certain things that you can do on the non-Shabbat Shabbatons, on the regular, I'll just call them Shabbat holy days, such as the first and last day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Matzah. It's okay to cook or prepare food, as well as on the first and last first day of Sukkot and the last great day, and also Shavuot. You can prepare food on those days, but on the Shabbat and on Yom Kippur, you're not supposed to prepare food, and no fires should be lit, which we'll read later. Okay, Shabbat, Shabbaton. Okay, and then we have la right here. La with a patach says la, which means to the, and this is the sacred name. So we're going to say Adonai, la Adonai, la Adonai. We'll say it that way. Okay, and this is kol. We had this word before already. Kol is all, and this says this is a hey with a kamatz, which says ha, and this is this ayin with cholem says o, and this is a sin with a sigol, which says se, this hey sad. So kol ha'oseh, which means that do work, or one who does work. So this expression is anyone who does work, who does any work. And this is a vet with a cholem and this is a vet and this is a vav with a cholem above it. So this is o, so vo, which means the vet means in, the o means it. Okay, in it. Kol ha'oseh vo, anyone who does any work in it. Okay, on it, meaning on that day, on the Shabbat day. So anyone who does on it, and this is a mem, and this is a shiva, which says me, and this is a lamed with a kamatz, which means la, which says la. This aleph was part of that, so me la, and this is the chaf, the kamatz, and the hey together will say cha, melacha. So this is the one that's translated work. So all who do on it work, melacha. And then this is a yud with a vav with a dot through it, which is a shuruk. This is you, and then this is a mem with a kamatz, which is ma, and the tav mat, you mat, and that's translated as shall die, basically, or shall be put to death. Okay. And the last verse we'll do is Exodus chapter 35, verse 3. The English says, "You shall not kindle fire in any of your dwelling places on the Sabbath day." That's what I was talking about earlier. And this is why Orthodox Jews do not drive on Shabbat. We don't light any fires because of this verse right here. Okay, so this is a lamed with a cholem. So this is o. So this is lo. Okay, and this negates the next word. So this is, you might say no or not. Okay, lo means no or not. And this is a tav with a shava which says te. And this is a vet with a kamatz which says va. And this ayin with a chatef says a. So teva a. And this is a resh with this, this is a shuruk. So say ru. The vav with the dot through it says u. Teva aru, which means you shall kindle. So not you shall kindle. You shall not kindle. Okay. So you shall not kindle. And this is an aleph with a tzera says e, and with the shin it says esh. Esh means fire. So you shall not kindle fire. Lo teva'aru esh. And this is a bet with a shava which says be, and this is a chaf with a cholam which is cho, and the lamed says la. So chol, bechol, which the be means in, and this it also sometimes means at or with, but here we're going to translate it as in, and this is the same word chol, which means all. It's actually the same word that we've had a few times already here. This is pronounced kol, but it's the same exact word meaning. So it's just sometimes it's pronounced differently. I think it's just a style issue. It depends on what words surround it. Okay. So bechol, or what words or what letters surround it. Bechol. So this is in all, and this is a mem with a, and this is a shin with the cholam. So this is mo, and this shin, this shava, is going to be silent. So it's mosh, mosh, and then this is a vet. Wait, hold on. No, this is not silent. This is going to be pronounced. I'm sorry. After a cholam, the shava is pronounced. So this is Moshe, and this is a vet with the cholam again. It says is vo, Moshe vo, and this is a tav with it tzera. So it says te, Moshe vo te, and this is a chaf with a segol, and the mem suffix says chemosh. So quickly you just say moshvotechem, but technically this should be sounded moshvotechem, and this means you're in all your dwellings. Sorry, your dwellings. The chem part means your, or y'all's. It's actually plural. Y'all's dwellings. So bechol is in all. Moshvotechem is your dwellings. And this is a bet with a shiva, which is be, and this is the word yom again, which we've had already earlier. So beyom, on the day, and this is the ha, and we've had this word already again. Also Shabbat, on the day Shabbat, on the Sabbath day. Okay. All right. Now we're going to learn the trope for this, and I'm just going to review the cantillation marks, because you have to memorize this in order if you really want to learn trope. So I'll just review it with every video. So this says, Kadma munak sarka munak sego munak revi'i mapak pashta munak katon zakef gadol merchat ibcha munachet nachta pazeh telisha ketana telisha gedola kadma ve'azla azla geresh gershayim darga tevir yetiv Pesik sof pasuk. So I was pointing to the trope marks as I was singing them. Now these ones are very rare that I'm about to do. Okay, they only happen a few times in the Torah, each one. Shoshelet karne para mercha kefula yerach ben yomo. Okay, so the trope marks tell you not only the sound of each word, but also the accent mark for the word, which syllable is accented. So here we see the accent is under hel. This munach is under hel, so it's vayakhel. It's not vayakhel, it's vayakhel. Okay, and this is Moshe, because this trope mark right here, it's not Moshe, which a lot of people in America who speak English say when they're not speaking exact, Hebrew, maybe they'll just throw in the Hebrew version of Moses. They'll say Moshe, but in Hebrew it's really Moshe. So here there's only one trope mark. It's with the syllable dat, so it's adat. It's called adat. And then ne in b'nei is what's accented. B'nei. And then el, here's the last syllable of Yisrael is what is accented. Yisrael. It's not, in English, we accent the first syllable. We say Israel. But in Hebrew, it's Yisrael. There's also a guttural stop right after Ra and before El, because the Aleph is actually a guttural stop. Yisrael. Okay. And this is Vayomer, not Vayomer, but Vayomer, because the trope mark is right here. And Alehem, this is the trope mark, okay? So on and so forth. So these trope marks will tell you where the accent mark of each of the word is, okay? Okay. Now I'm going to trope each symbol, and then also trope it with the Hebrew. I'll trope the name of the trope mark, and then I'll trope the Hebrew, okay? So this is Munach, and so this is Vayakhel, Revi'i, Moshe. So this is Vayakhel Moshe, and this is this will all be this trope mark right here. Okay, so this is Tevir. So this is Et Kol Adat, and this is Mercha B'nei, Mercha B'nei, and this is Tibcha Yisrael, Tibcha Yisrael, and this is Munach. So this is Vayomer, and this is Et Nachta. So this is Alehem, and this is Mapach Ele. So we cut off the first few notes because all of the trope is 3 notes. This word only has 2 syllables, so we just cut off the first note. So Mapach Ele Katon Hadevarim Mercha Asher Tziva Tibcha Adonai Mercha La'asot Sof Pasuk Otam. Okay, another thing that the trope marks do is it indicates grammatically where the pauses are, so you know which words are grouped together. So they're kind of like commas and dashes and periods. You can't directly say one is a comma or it could just be a pause. We wouldn't translate each separator as necessarily a comma, but we do know that when there's a separator, it will group certain words together. So the Revi'i is a separator. So Vayakhel Moshe or Moshe assembled is one thought, one phrase. Okay, Tavir is another separator. So Et Kol Adat is one thought or phrase. So this is the whole congregation. And then B'nai Yisrael is another thought, but the actual stop is this is the actual you would actually put a comma here after Vayomer Alehem and said to them. Okay. Then you would put a comma after this separator. Okay. Ele, these are hadevarim, the words. And here, this is another separator, this katon. So these are the words, okay? And then we have asher tziva Adonai, that Hashem commanded. And then la'asot otam is the last phrase, which is to do them. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and trope the whole verse. Vayakhel Moshe et kol adat b'nei Yisrael vayomer alehem ele hadevarim asher tziva Adonai la'asot otam. And we'll just do that verse for trope for today. Thanks for learning Hebrew with me. And you can contact me for Hebrew classes for children or adults. And please join my Facebook group if you haven't done so. Subscribe to my YouTube channel also. And have a Shabbat Shalom.